Hey there, head squeezers. Hope you're well. It's a very special video this week. This one ties into the ultimate 21-day test of strength and stamina on two wheels. Of course, I'm talking about the Tour de France. Now, this epic race is only, of course, for your elite athletes, although James May did once tell me that he battled the 3,342 kilometre tour on a unicycle, backwards, blindfolded, and on a rainy day. Is there no limits to that man's talent? Anyway, one of the main mountain sections of the tour goes up Alpe d'Huez, and it's the monster climb, about 13.8 kilometres. It rises to about an 8% gradient. It's an absolute killer. What I want to look at is how much of an impact does somebody's body weight actually make on the speed of that race? In other words, if you were to lose a few kilograms, could you become an elite cyclist? There are going to be three factors I want to look at. The first one is air resistance. Not only are our pros battling against their fellow competitors, they're also trying to push through lots and lots of air molecules in front of them. And they do a few different techniques to deal with that drag. The first one is they try different riding positions. One of the ones is known as a praying mantis. Another one is known as the Superman. They also wear special helmets, time trial helmets, that actually change the way that the air flows around their head to make them faster. And of course, they're now using a very, very lightweight carbon fiber framed bike that's only about 6.8 kilograms. And they play with all those different factors to try to become as aerodynamic and as efficient as cutting through all that air as possible. The second factor is the big one, and that's gravity. Nothing we can really do about that, of course. And that's where somebody's body mass really does come into play. That's all about the power to weight ratio, i.e. how much power in watts does it take to move a mass in kilograms a certain distance in meters. Now, the gold standard for a pro cyclist is around about 6 watts per kilogram. Now, if you could hit 6.4 watts per kilogram, that's what it takes to win the Tour de France. Last year's champion, Sir Bradley Wiggins, he managed to go about 450 watts for over about an hour, and he weighs 70 kilograms. If you crunch all those numbers, you get 6.42 watts per kilogram. Now, just to put that in perspective, I jumped on this treadmill earlier. We set it up to 8%, the same as the Alpe d'Huez hill, and I absolutely beasted it as much as possible. It was pretty sketchy, and my max power at one point for literally about a minute was 4.2 watts per kilogram. Miles off the old WIGGINS incredible 6.42. Now, the third factor, what is it? Well, apart from his great taste in sharp mod suits, what else is it that separates Wiggo from us mere mortals? I should really introduce Dan Lloyd up the back there. Dan is the presenter on the Global Cycling Network's YouTube channel, GCN. Now, Dan and I were the ones just having a go on that treadmill just now. Now, I'm sure you can see it's all down to body shape. Dan there looks quite different from your average guy. You can almost say he's a lean, mean fighting machine, or perhaps just call him a stickman.
Hello!
That's pretty much it, right? That's the thing with body weight. He is very, very slim, and it's all down to your body fat levels. Now, on average, males have about 69% body fat if they're an elite cyclist, and females have about 11 to 14%. They go through a whole load of finely tuned training regimes to try to work out how much of their body mass they can lose without jeopardizing their muscle power. Excess fat is just not an option. Literally just a very little bit of weight can make the difference between first and second place. Even 1 gram, the weight of a paperclip. When you see cyclists heading towards that finishing line on the home straight, you see them chucking away their water bottle. They're not just doing that for a laugh. They're doing it because they're shedding all the weight they can for that final push to get as much power as they possibly can out. Now, sadly, Wiggo won't be joining the tour this year. But if you do want to see whether I've got what it takes, then have a look. Click on Dan here in the background to check out the video of myself and Dan over on the GCN channel as we ramp that up to 8% and try to tackle the Alpe d'Huez hill. And the question we're looking at is whether the weight of the bike makes much of a difference. Just to let you know, Dan, the yellow jersey is, of course, mine. No, it wasn't. See you guys soon. Until next time, happy head squeezing.